Right. My response to the harassment and the letter from the building next door. So just to recap, this was the letter. This was the letter I received from next door, and I'll read my response. I left it early in the morning. The occupier of Top Flat, to me, I wrote you a letter stating how the noise that you are making at unsociable hours affects my life. I don't know why, but you seem to start doing chores at night, very late at night. I'm asking you nicely again to be aware of your surroundings. Being woken up to the washing machine keeps me awake for hours and I'm exhausted. I'm going to get your landlord's details and contact them every time that I am disturbed during these unacceptable, unsociable hours. I am very ill and need to get up for work very early, so I hope that you read this and realise how badly the noise vibrations through the walls affects me. Rich, next door. So this is my response to Rich. Because this nutcase was banging, shouting and swearing. I walked into the kitchen. It was 10:30 at night and I jumped out of my skin. So this is my response. The 8th of October. FAO, the occupier of the Top Flat. From me, and I've put the address. I've reported your harassment, verbal abuse, swearing and banging, as well as letters to the police. And I am also reporting this in my local government claim to the CEO of Eastbourne Borough Council. I don't need this. You caused me to have a sleepless night, and I couldn't even sleep in the daytime to recuperate as a result when I'm already ill. I will let the lady who owns this flat know about this. She is already letting me stay here as a place of safety, underlined place of safety, after a whole year of being attacked by several demented criminal licensees in my shared council home. And I already have a claim with that. I cannot deal with any more, underlined, any more demented people, ! I have a crucial lady witness who was attacked trying to help me, and she is going through cancer treatment. I am trying to recover from serious trauma as it is. What I do in this flat is none of your business, underlined, or at what time. If you are going to record my quote unquote every capitals move, as you put it, then you do that. But apart from being perverted, you obviously have a lot of time on your hands, especially if you have to get up early for work. For all you know, I could work night shifts. You don't even live in this building, and it is a solid brick wall, not a hollow wall, separating us. On 5th of October, no later than 10:30 p.m, you made me jump out of my skin when I walked into the kitchen to thumping, shouting and swearing, which I later reported to the police after finding your note. I had put the washing machine on at 9:45 p.m, which is not late. The cheap rate does not come on until 11 p.m. As it is, Liz Trust, the PM, is paying households to use their washing machines at night. That includes all electrical appliances. There may be blackouts this winter. Now, if you continue to harass me with letters or more verbal abuse or anything else, then I will have to escalate to complaints. I'm going about my daily business and I'm already trying hard to recover from extremely serious issues, which I have taken up with the local government ombudsman. I do not expect to have any more trouble from you, and that includes letters. You should be hearing from the Neighbourhood Policing Team, NPT. I will keep a copy of this note. Top flat, my address. So that's a copy of my response. Yeah. What was I going to say? Because the thing is, you know, what would the nutcases below me who complained about me, they woke me up at midnight when I'm already, the Zopiclone that the doctor prescribed me, that isn't even, and that's the only thing that knocks me out. I could go crazy because I can't sleep because of what has been done to me by the corruption, the police, the criminal police, the criminals they protect, the council, the whole kit and caboodle. And I was telling Juliet this. She's my lady witness who was attacked by random drunks in the street trying to help me. This is how you find out who you can and can't trust. And she's going through cancer treatment and she's got her own problems. But it's funny, isn't it? Because it's the victims, the genuine victims of crime and trauma. They're the people. You'll know who actually cares when you're actually crying out on the street to members of the public, because that's what I was doing. And isn't it funny how Dan from Police Abusing Powers, because I'm aware there are quite a lot of people watching this right now. I say a lot. I mean, in terms of, this is just my Dear Diary live stream. But you don't need, but Dan from Police Abusing Powers, who got me his minions to, not to help me, just to be nosy. So as I recorded Tina Chave admitting that she's a nosy cow on his live phone-in, and she falsely offered me 40 years of experience of help, saying you shouldn't be in these places. It's only, I just happen to have this place, and you don't even believe, Dan, that Juliet exists. Well, I will give her your phone number, because I've had unknown phone numbers ringing me. I've been trolled and I've had suicidal thoughts, and I've got evidence of you and Tina falsely offering me help, retracting it, then threatening me. And there are a lot of frauds out there, like Caroline Stevens, people who say that they're praying, I'll pray for you, using Yahweh's name, talking me out of suicide, then threatening me. Why? Because I'm speaking the truth, and speaking the truth is the most dangerous thing that you can do now. But the truth shall set you free. So come on, set up some more troll channels. Come on, use my name, Bryony Winey. Bryony Winey. That's original. That's what my ex-Army Jehovah's Witness friend said. Come on, where are all your satanic names, Gardrael and all that? Come on, set up some more troll channels with using my name and my photos that you took from Facebook, because you're going to have a court case on your hands. Believe me. Come on, it's not enough. Come on, you're not harassing me enough. It's not enough. Come on, I'm suicidal. Come on, attack me. Come on, I'm inviting you. Come on. Juliet was rather interested to know about the couple below me. She said, do they appear to have mental issues? I said, no, they seem quite normal. And, well, normal as in to look at, but that doesn't mean anything. That's nonsensical. There's no such thing as looking normal as such. I mean, clean looking, professional sounding. The bizarre thing I said to Juliet was the couple weren't complaining. Had they complained about the screaming and the shouting between me and my ex-partner, then I would understand that because I would do the same like a normal person, because he assaulted me over me having a set of keys to this flat. And I can understand, but no, they woke me up at midnight. They woke me up at midnight because they kept complaining about the sound of a whirring a bedside fan. So I'm now walking around this flat. I'm upstairs right now inside the little study. And I just feel like every move I make, I've got nutcases ready to, who've got no, obviously, even if they've got a working life, they've got nothing better to do. They're no more that, well, they're just as demented. This is the world that we're living in now. They're a couple. They got me to come into their bedroom. I was telling Juliet this the night before last. I was saying they got me to come into their bedroom in my Garfield pajamas, a stranger's, a couple's bedroom. Can you imagine the embarrassment? I've got ladies' problems. Well, I'm telling you that, and I don't know why. In my Garfield pajamas. This was before my no, sorry, this was after my ex-partner was arrested. And I just thought, and Juliet finds that absolutely astounding and ridiculous. I had to strain my ears to try and hear in their bedroom the sound of this whirring. Why don't they complain about everything then? The floor heater on the floor. I feel I can't put my laptop on. I feel like I can't sneeze, cough, fart, anything else. It's just, I'm being vulgar, sorry. But there actually, let's, on a humorous note, because my head has been in a very dark place. I've been crying and I've been suicidal. I'll say something rather humorous. I'll have to tell Juliet this because she might be watching. When I was in supported accommodation, that scam that I'm going to speak out about, one of the support workers that they got in, he was so he had absolutely, I've got lots of stories, but because I just said something vulgar, I'm going to just elaborate. I remember he was from Guernsey, and I've been to Guernsey, the Channel Islands. And he was like an Eastbourne person, like typical funny one. And the people in that building were funny, but I really, it was just a scam, the whole supported living thing. It was just a profit-making landlord who is in it for his pension, like so many people. It's a social enterprise. That's what it is. But he talk about having no social skills. I remember he introduced himself and he was talking in the kitchen, and I started to talk, and he farted. And while I was talking, he didn't even say pardon me, let alone look embarrassed. And his eyes were all goggly and looking all over the place. And this is a support worker. And I didn't know how to react at first. And I said, well, what do you say? I said, you imagine your support worker is just farted, hasn't apologized, and you stop and you sort of go, why did you just do that? It's it's a bit rude. Like, where's the embarrassment? He wasn't embarrassed, and he was just like, well, it's a natural thing to do. But crumbs, it was bad enough that this person didn't even know how to dish up our meals. I don't eat pork or pigs anymore because it's not scriptural, and it's very bad for you, obviously. There's a reason why you shouldn't eat these foods. But he put the pork and the mashed potato on top of the pork and the peas on top and just pile it all up, not put it all in its little segments. And that's the kind of people you're dealing with, and the police are the same. They're thick, they've just got no social awareness, and they just act more demented than 2-year-olds. But no, I'm going to have to tell Juliet about it because I need to have a laugh. I've told her about how I looked for somewhere to hang myself in the room, but I'll have to tell her about the young man, the boy, who came out of his room stark, naked, and I was in my 20s, so I really didn't want to see that sort of thing. It really affected me back then. Now I couldn't care less, but I was like, as you can imagine, a young lady, like, I don't want to see that. So quickly running down the stairs, and he's run down the stairs, and I look up the landing and I can see everything flapping about. And but again, he was someone who in the lounge watching the telly lifted up his, to let off, carried on laughing at the TV. There are men out there who do that sort of thing, but isn't it bad enough to do it in front of your spouse, let alone someone that you don't even know? But yeah, there were other people in there who either I shouldn't have been there or they shouldn't have been there. But I don't have a problem living with people who have mental health issues, but if they're like, God, if they're like wetting themselves on the chair, that bad. And an old man who's having a go at you because he's got a learning difficulty because he thinks he owns the communal area, and that made my mother angry. But now in supported accommodation, they're putting sex offenders in there with. So even in supported accommodation, you're getting this. And there's someone I met in this. I've got to be careful what I say. No, I can't say it. No, I can't. No, I can't. But anyway, there we go. But I just thought I'd just say something that was slightly humorous, because I had a chat with my lady friend last night. Or was it last night, Juliet? Yeah, it was last night. But I've gone into a very dark place, obviously, because I'm hurting very badly for obvious reasons. I've been lied to. I've been abused. And but yeah. Anyway, all I wanted to do was make this live stream just to document a letter. That's the only reason why I've made this live stream. But I thought I'd sort of go off on a little tangent as well, because it helps me. Been crying, been suicidal. But I also wanted to point out the fact that about 2 weeks ago, I was disturbed by, I don't know where it was coming from, but it was coming from over there. It sounded like a mini cinema. It sounded like someone had their windows right open, or French doors or whatever. I could hear everything coming from this TV. It sounded like an open air cinema. It was that loud. And I was starting to get really annoyed, because I was in the bedroom watching the laptop, and it really annoyed me. And I thought, why is no one shouting out, "Turn it down"? It was that loud, like boom, boom, boom. It's like a cinema. I mean, how selfish. It's like whoever owned it, it's probably a man, wanted the whole world to hear it. And this is what I mean. If I don't even feel like I can cough or burp or whatever without someone going, and you got these nutcases down there, the nutcase there, banging, shouting, swearing, and crumbs. I can understand, no offense to the lady who owns this flat, but I can understand why she wants to spend more time in her home country. Because as it is, there's a leak from the ceiling onto her bed. I mean, it was awful. I had to move the bed, and I was worried they might complain. It was just rain coming through the ceiling onto the bed, and there's a crack in the window. It's not double glazed. It's an old-fashioned window with a crack in it. And there was also a leak from the ceiling in the lounge. So why would she want to come back? But I can at least say that I have looked after the flat. Well, and I've made improvements, because and this is no offense to her whatsoever. I'm extremely appreciative, although I shouldn't be in these circumstances. That's why I'm angry with my partner, because what the hell has he been doing? Left me to sleep rough, had me arrested, the emotional abuse even here, rather than actually, I mean, he even left voice messages for me while I was making a live stream. Funny that. Isn't it interesting, though, how he saw me being attacked in a live stream, but didn't even if he didn't watch it live, why didn't he ring me up to say, "Are you okay, Bryony?" No, and he didn't even comment on the fact that Sherelle Clark was mentioned with her mother in the news as having beaten up, mugged the elderly and beaten up a man, so that he's now too scared to go out, jailed for 5 years. They'll go and do the same thing again, because they did it 2 years prior to being placed in my council accommodation. But there's no concern for me. Is he not getting off his ass to contact? I'm the one who's fought tooth and nail with the council. So yeah, but he's emotionally abused me in this flat, which is extremely embarrassing for me, because how am I going to, I've never met the lady who owns this flat, but I've got to let her know what's been happening. I don't exactly feel comfortable saying, hey, Darren was arrested for assaulting me over a set of keys that he had cut for me so that I could get in and out of here, because he locked me out one night and he had them cut, the keys cut, and then he was taking them away from me and assaulted me over it. So, you've brought this on yourself, Darren. And you know it, and that's why you're getting your headaches, and you're saying to me while I was making a live stream, the first time I've ever spoken ill of you, don't mock me about having a headache. Well, pull your finger out, because you're 53. I don't want to talk to you like I do have to with the police, okay? Because there are no men alive anymore. There are no real men, no real women. Well, with the exception of someone like Juliet, of course, who's affirming me, who's actually helping me and doing their job. A member of the public helping me. A member of the public attacked for trying to help me. She's going through cancer treatment. Where have your mum and dad been in this? Where's the how is Bryony? No, because your friend hung up on me, and he's got possessions of mine, and he works at the food frigging bank, and he said he was praying for me, and I played him a recording of me being threatened, and you can hear, you only have to listen to this individual to hear that they're a nasty piece of work. I'll come down, I swear, Dan, I'm going to come up there and beat you senseless, dirty little bitch. Yes. A raging alcoholic on a criminal tag in my council home, and I play in the recording, and he just said to me, and it's on my YouTube. It's on YouTube. Shame on you, Steve Churchill, and you're a Christian. I tell you what, I'm learning all the time. And you had Caroline Stevens, a woman from, where is she from? Somewhere up north. Wiltshire. A woman from Wiltshire. That woman from Wiltshire. That woman from Wiltshire who used Yahweh's name but threatened me. Well, I tell you what, a lot of people are going to show themselves up for what they really, really are. And I tell you that I'm doing my suffering now so that I don't have to do it beyond death. And I think this is why you're scared. Why you, each and every one of you, cause no loss, harm, personal injury. This is why you're scared. And you should be. Because you know what you've done. And each and every one of you, well, that includes me. But I haven't if I do anything wrong to anyone, I'm the first to admit it. I'm the first to put my hands up. No, I was even going to apologise to this idiot next door for what happened between me and my partner, even though I shouldn't. My ex-partner, sorry, Darren. I was going to, which I shouldn't have to do. I shouldn't have to apologise for him abusing me. My distress, in other words. That provocation that women often get when they're being abused. You don't like just like Dan from Police Abusing Powers and Tina, you don't even believe that Juliet exists. Dan doesn't. Well, the council are going to know she exists because she's helping me with my claim. And she's still going to come down to the food bank with me. And when hits the fan, people are going to get covered in it. I'm telling you. So, you want to look like Mummy's good little boy? You do that. It's not going to happen, though. And when I speak out, I will speak out and I will say what's happened. And I will name the people who have let me down. I've been persecuted. There's nothing that more that can happen to me. The damage has already been done. There's nothing more they could possibly do, because their crimes, the crimes they've already committed, are off the scale. So the truth, yeah, it does set you free. Believe me. There's nothing more that I say. Bring it on, really, because bring on that evil, because that's it. It can't go beyond, you know. So yeah, I'll be the last one. What's the phrase? You know. I'll have the last laugh or whatever. Anyway, there we go. I just thought I'd document that, and yeah, I'll keep updated with what's happening. So that's it, basically. But yeah, no, I'm not going to worry about my every single, when I'm already anxious, thinking, oh my gosh. But you show a pervert up for what they are, because there are so many, you know, even if you've got loads of people around you and people that love you, if you're bad through and through, and I mean through and through, with your wicked thoughts, your wicked heart, if you're bad, you're a bad apple through and through to the core. There isn't any amount of people, money, anything out there, stuff, whatever. And this is why I feel so free to go out onto the street, to speak out. And that way, I won't ever have to worry about having to do the bullshit British stiff upper lip, you know, English politeness. Oh, all that bollocks, you know. Oh, yes, I'm a Christian. Oh, my son is so good. Isn't my daughter? Look at my daughter. Oh, this. I've had such a middle class. No, I don't have to do that. I can actually go out onto the street and tell it exactly how it is. And it doesn't matter who. I have a new motto. You're not doing your job. You're not doing your job, or whatever it is that you want to achieve, unless you've got people attacking you. And I think our Saviour put it in his own words. But yeah, so the more thumbs down that you get, reverse it, because the more people that persecute you, at least you're going to know. You then get, at least you know where you stand with them. That's great. Bring it on. So I'll just keep speaking my truth, and you don't have the guts to do it. At best, all you can do is a troll comment. And even if you do it with your own face, you're jealous. How awful that must be, to feel you can't do what you haven't got the guts to do what I can do. So you got to attack me. You got to. I'm going to have the last laugh. All my suffering and torture now, all my tears, all my suicidal, what could have left me with a severe physical impairment, stabbing myself through the arm with a 6-inch knife because of what's been done to me. No, I've been spared that. Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I'd say that. So it's good to say something positive. So yeah, bring it on. Get unknown numbers to ring me up. at unsociable hours, get troll channels, troll comments, on my old live streams. You do that. And thankfully I haven't seen any, but I'm just saying bring it on. I haven't seen any for a few weeks, which is good. But what I'm saying is bring it on. Come on. You're not attacking me. You want to upset me. That's what I'm trying to say. But no, it's good. It's obviously a good thing. And but I'm nobody's fool. Nobody's fool. And that's why I'm going to just keep this channel updated, because no one should ever, ever, ever have to go through what I've been through, ever. The fact that I'm still alive, to have gone through one of these things, just one of these things, to have survived one of them, because no one knows me better than me, obviously. And I'm telling you, I'm telling my channel this, I'm documenting this, just to have survived one of those things. That's why for the first time in my life, I'm not putting myself down. I don't drink, I don't take drugs, I don't smoke. I really do feel this is going to be take me to the other side. Because if I've come this far after what I like on Jeanette Archer's Facebook page, one of the posts they shared on her page was something to do with, every time you feel bad, look back at everything that you've look at how far you've come. That's what I mean. So yeah, so that's basically it. You know, to just survive one of those things and to keep pushing on, keep going on through that torture. So anyway, there we go. It's good to have a little vent, as I do, and but it was really just to read out my letter through the door early in the morning, so that I could get it off my chest, because it really, people don't always realize how much something can affect. So even I don't realize it really threw me. It was a trigger, because that's PTSD, trauma. Men come back from war zones, and they're never able to integrate back into society again. And that's what the locum said to me in front of my partner, yeah, he said, you and your sister need trauma-based therapy. Your sister's sex change because of, so yeah, what happened to Darren telling everyone, oh, she suffers with trauma? He suddenly stopped saying that. Isn't that funny? That was back in 2016 at the start of our relationship. So why wasn't he at the property I've kept away from for my safety? Why wasn't he repeating any of that? I know Darren watches my live streams and he won't answer it. But it's going to come out, Darren. You suddenly stopped saying all of that, didn't you? You were going around telling everyone. You were saying to me that you were telling people she suffers with trauma. And then suddenly I'm in a property that's got the worst reputation, with criminals, dangerous criminals, one of whom I thought would kill me when I was in the bath. And it looked like a scene from The Shining horror, with splinters in the carpet where she punched a hole in the door. I was in the bath, suffering from trauma. I very nearly climbed out of the window with a towel wrapped around me, falling off naked. I was climbing through a window, through a gap that wide, because I thought this nutcase was going to kill me. But you weren't telling anyone then that I was suffering from trauma. So, yeah, interesting that. Very interesting. But all the Christians are saying, oh, isn't he a good boy to... I don't think you should see Darren anymore. No, he's abusing you. So, but just like Dan from Police Abusing Powers and Tina Che from the Independent Advice Network, believe me, this is not going away. And Trading Standards will hear about that, and your channel, and the ongoing abuse, and the harassing calls, and the one who contacted the House of Commons and my local MP office with abuse. Believe me, it's not going away. So, if I get any more unknown numbers ringing me at unsociable hours or whatnot, you keep doing that and you see what happens.